Let's draw our state, our home, and the things that we love about where we live. First thing we're going to do is get a printout of our state. Then we'll staple 2-3 times on the outside of the printout. So I'm just adding a little staple. Now I'm going to take my scissors and cut as carefully as I can through both pieces of paper. So the paper on top is my template. It's what I'm using to know what to cut. The paper underneath is the color paper that I will be creating my art on. Notice at the very end there, I cut off the last staple that kept it together. Look at, now I have a great shape created. I thought about a lot of things that I love about our state. I started thinking about the different sports that we have in our state. I thought about the weather that we have in our states, the animals, and the food that we have. I even thought of the state fair. But what I love the most about our state is that we have all sorts of different people who live in our state. So that is what I am choosing to create inside my state. Now, I will let you know that the first thing that I did was come up with some ideas in my sketchbook. Now that I have my ideas solidified, I'm going to start adding those ideas right on the shape that I just cut. And as you can see, I'm drawing with my Sharpie marker first, but you can use a pencil first if you so choose. Another thing that I was considering when I was adding my design is filling up that shape with design. So I added a lot of faces in here. Plus, there's just a lot of different kinds of people. So I wanted to represent as many kinds of people as I possibly could in my drawing. Okay, now I'm going to start coloring, and I'm going to start with the skin tones first. I have this awesome pack that has all sorts of different skin tones. It even has yellow and blue, so I can draw eyes or hair color as well for all the different kinds of people that I might be drawing. Minnesota is filled with tons of different kinds of people, so I want to represent that as I'm adding my color. I'm coloring nice and slow, making sure to fill in all my, well, yellow spots now. I don't want any of the yellow to show where I am coloring in the skin. All right, now that the skin is done, it's time to add the color to all the other details. So the hijab, the hats, the hair, the glasses, even the teeth. If you want the teeth to appear white, you actually need to use the white crayon. Now in my case, I chose to add a background color to everything around my faces. So I'm showing this actually in real time. Do you see how slow my hand goes? I also have a piece of paper underneath to kind of protect my tabletop since I'm working way out to the edge. Man, I'm having such a good time with this coloring thing. I even added a second color in some of the areas of the background. I just wanted to highlight those people a little bit more, so I'm adding a second color. Awesome. The shape of Minnesota is done. Now it's time to move on to the background. Place your shape on top of your background and take a pencil and lightly trace around your shape of Minnesota. You want to actually use a pretty light pencil. You can barely even see it. Now, for me, I decided that I'm going to start from the center and draw lines going out. I wanted to use cool colors because my shape itself is mostly warm colors. If I use cool colors, it's really going to stand out nice and bright. Pay attention to the way that I'm coloring. I'm making sure that I color beyond the lines that I drew for my state. So I'm trying to color in beyond that, and then I'm trying to color in so that no white spots show. So I'm using some really good coloring skills as I create my design, and I'm creating a pattern. Okay, I've colored around most of this, but what I did was I made a mistake because now if I do purple, because of my pattern here, purple, blue, green, purple, blue, green, purple, blue, purple. So I have to decide, how can I make this whoops into a wow? I have just the solution. I'm going to add one more line right here. So then I'll be able to do purple, blue, green, purple. I love how this is looking, but I think I want to give just a little bit of shadow around the actual Minnesota. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so there's the shadow, and I'm going to place this right on top. Ooh, that looks great. Hey, I have lots of other kinds of paper that I've created in the past, and any of these would be just fine. So this one looks great. It maybe is a little too busy. It might have too much going on. So maybe making it a little bit more simple. This is just 2 colors together. That looks actually pretty sharp. I might end up going with that one. We'll see. Here's some kind of tie-dye looking. This part looks really strong, I think. And I think it's because my Minnesota is mostly warm colors and this is cool colors. So I think that's why it pops so much. Adding some kind of a pattern in the background would be okay as well. So lots of alternatives to really make your artwork unique and represent you. Here's one more. So depending on the materials you have that you're using, you can go ahead and use your markers, paints, crayons, whatever you have available. We just want it nice and bright and beautiful and representing what you love about Minnesota.